just right now, Tales of Zestria the Cross basically did its finale, and I have to say, this finale, excuse me, left me wanting much, much more. I think this is a perfectly good executed way to end a two-core series, just like how Unlimited Blade Works was handled with that cliffhanger ending. And then we get Tales of the Cross's kind of cliffhanger ending, but we all know what's going to come next. And we're going to have to wait, I think, until next year to wait for the second core of Tales of Zestria the Cross. And my god, is it going to be a long wait. But we're going to have to put up with it as Ufotable is going to bring us greatness just again. And I would like to bring up this topic because I'm going to be slightly bit more professional in my reviews starting from now on. As I was rewatching some of my reviews, particularly Rewrite Episode 13's review, and I found out how I came off more as a ranter instead of a reviewer, and that it's okay to be ranting a bit sometimes, but I didn't really bring up a lot of good points. I would say from the episode itself to qualify it as a sort of a review, as I thought that did it a lot of injustice, and I'm sorry about not reviewing Shogeki no Soma. I think one of you has mentioned that to me and unsubscribed. Unfortunately, I don't take it against you. If the content you're not isn't here, then there's no reason for you to stick around, and I agree with that. No hard feelings. But anyways, Tales of Zestria the Cross is episode 12 or episode 13. Well, for me, I'm counting as episode 12. Is the finale, as I said before, Tales of Zestria the Cross's first core, and left me wanting for more, as I just quoted myself, kind of. In this episode, we get basically a demonstration of the Lord of Calamity, the human Helion's ability, as Sore basically has a short skirmish against him. And we find out that that one girl from episode 0 is basically one of his followers. Her name is Seamus? I don't know how to pronounce her name, unfortunately. Sorry if I butcher it, but that he has basically, as befitting the name of Lord of Calamity, he has control over malevolence and basically can control those little flying ghost malevolence to attack Sore, and basically can teleport away, which makes him a pretty formidable opponent. As even Sore, even when he fuses with with the other Soras, Mikleo, Lila, and Edna, he couldn't land a single hit and got knocked out of that form. And we got a bit more of explanation of basically every human Helion that Sora is going to face is going to give him sort of flashback, and we get to see what the Lord of Calamity looks like in his original human form. And basically, the Lord of Calamity is like, "So you're a new shepherd. I'm surprised that there's a new one." Basically implies that there hasn't been one in a long while, which we already knew that since Sora is the first of many the newest one in forever to basically come, as shepherds are pretty much a legend right now. And basically, that girl, his follower, Seamus, or whatever, I'm not gonna say her name anymore. I don't want to butcher it anymore. Basically, name drops that in order to defeat the Lord of Calamity, you must defeat his followers. And I have this sort of weird inkling whenever a villain reveals how to beat them. It just makes me go, why would you tell them how to beat it? Sure, they might seem all powerful, but he's a shepherd. He's gonna find a way, maybe or maybe not, to defeat those followers and bring down the Lord of Calamity. I was just thinking to myself, and basically, it's just a weird trope that I guess I have to get used to. But the villain says, "I'm going to yeah, my only weakness is this, or I'll leave you alive for you to get stronger, so I'll bring increased despair." It just leaves me a bit off unless there's a good particular reason. And I guess that's the Lord of Calamity. He wants to bring more malevolence and despair. And if he kills a shepherd when everyone's looking up for the shepherd to basically, which is Sore, and kills him, more malevolence gets released. And I can see his reasoning, so he gets a pass on that. He got a pretty legit reasoning, or reasoning. To basically let Sore go and get stronger, because he's like, "You're beneath me. I would not squash you," which is unfortunately a lot of how a lot of the downfalls of villains such as this. So basically, give the hero time to prepare, which is I guess if the stages of the hero and all that good stuff. Basically, we also get blah 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 blah, and basically. Hold on, I'm getting tongue-tied. Excuse me. What else? We also got basically the conclusion of the fight scene with Rose and the princess, and it's just what was interesting was that from the opening from Tales of Berseria and basically the original game opening of Tales of Zestria, basically Rose is essentially another shepherd as she has a seraph following her around. The blonde guy with like the top hat, which we unfortunately do not get his name, but he seems to be a very funny and interesting character with the way from what we get to see him, interact with the with the events and basically what he did at the end with flipping Rose's skirt. Even though she was wearing pants, she still got embarrassed. It was interesting to see. And even the other Saras commented on that. He's going to be a fun character to have around, and I have to agree. Just from my first impressions of him, I'm going to like this character. Now that doesn't mean I don't like all the characters. I like them all to a certain degree, like Sorey. But he's likable. He's relatable. Like he wants to save everyone, and that he wants to bring everyone to peace because he's the only one who can do it. And I still have some problems with the superhero mindset. I'm not going to kill anybody and all that. But I like all these characters for how they are and how they're presented. And basically, the new guy, the new Seraph, I'm going to guess that's what he is, since he's following around Rose and basically he's invincible. Basically hints that she's going to be, and how tells Zestria the game's opening spoiled it, is that Rose is also going to have a shepherd form, and she's the second shepherd. Ow. My phone just like fell on me from the holster. Ow. Sorry about that. And basically, I can't wait to see basically all the characters that are going to be introduced. What's interesting is that how Ufotable basically animated the opening and ending song to include all the characters that basically like that Zeke or Seavault or whatever that fool's name, the one with the gun. He only appeared for like an episode, and he appears like in the ending and opening song, and a lot of like all the new characters that we haven't gotten to see yet, and we're going to see in the second core, haven't shown up yet. Basically, I want to know more about them. I haven't played the game, so basically, I'm excited for the second season to introduce these new characters and continue off the story of Sorey the Shepherd and him taking on the Lord of Calamity. I particularly enjoyed this final finale and can't wait for more. As I said before, I'm just reiterating myself. We also get to see some pretty slick animation by Ufotable in this episode as well. I would like to point out when Alicia is placed face down and all that, and when the blood like is like spreading because they can't stop the bleeding, and when basically Rose goes out to go get Sorey, and we get a pretty cool, neat scene of basically the knights on the other side of I think Roland or something, basically arrive to the battlefield and find that both sides, everyone is still alive, and they're like, "What's going on?" And basically they call for help, I guess, for both because there's like a truce right now. And basically he mutters that he wonders where the world is going to go now, since basically all of them are like knocked out, they're not dead, and basically in war usually there's going to be dead people, but they basically sorely knocked all of them out. So basically he mentions, "I wonder where the world's going on now." Basically things are getting shaken up. He's never seen this sort of action before, and in real life, I mean, if you're having a war zone, you don't expect both sides to come out unscathed and knocked out and have like a huge truce or something. No, that's completely the opposite. It's like a video game anime movie thing that only happens in fictional medium. And maybe if there's if there are multiple universes, which I think there are. I've pretty much followed through all that with like the many worlds interpretation. That I'm a firm believer of the Schrodinger's cat thing, the theory, of the idea of that there's 50% chance if it's dead or not, and basically the timeline just splits and it's not until you observe it. And basically the multiverse theories, and or as many call it, many worlds interpretation, basically goes where like basically you fix this and basically solves a bunch of paradoxes, like the grandfather paradox. Like you kill yourself, then you wouldn't be able to, or you kill your grandfather, you wouldn't be able to go back in time to kill your grandfather. Like you kill Hitler, then you wouldn't have had a reason to go and kill Hitler. So that wouldn't have happened, and would have called a time paradox. So basically, all that jazz and all that. But let's go back onto the main topic, and is that when Roland tonight goes to the battlefield and sees both sides knocked out. Basically, we get to see a bit more of Sorey's character. If you haven't already noticed, that he's pacifistic to a point where I feel like it's a mental disability. Now, I'm being way too harsh. I would say it's more of a flaw in his character or a beneficial trait. It's a double-edged sword. Basically, we get to see more of his pacifistic, I don't want to kill anybody nature with him having to fight, but he basically knocks out both sides without favoring anyone, because I'm going to take a gander. It's a long-fetched guess, but I'm going to guess that if he knocked one side out, the other side would be more tempted to finish them off, so he knocked out both sides in order to wipe out the malevolence as well, and to basically just stop them from basically creating anymore and basically harming anyone else, which was really, really good. That's what the writers, or the subtle character development there, and basically a bit more insight to Soria's character, which is really, really good. I really like that attention of detail, and basically we also get a cool attention to detail, basically with the new top hat blonde guy character, who's obviously going to be the Seraph for Rose when she goes paladin shepherd mode. Mind me, man. It's going to be really refreshing. This basically he has like this chain ability that he uses to basically like chain and stop this ghost malevolent thing from basically hitting Sore and allow Sore to finish it. So we can all assume that he's going to have some cool with his character. What we get to see in this episode is that he's going to be like the cool like trickster character that we're all going to enjoy, know and love with his antics, and then he also has a cool power involving chains. And he's obviously going to be the Seraph that Rose basically is going to go to super Shepherd mode Super Rose mode now. Man, I come up with a dumbest name sometime. But yeah, basically everything else was pretty good. Basically, we also get a cool, pretty neat scene where basically Suri gets pissed off at General Landon. You know, the general who was commanding the forces, saying, I'm under Bertrand's orders. I'm going to kill you now, princess, or take you hostage and do naughty things with you if this was an 18 plus NTR visual novel. Jesus Christ, why did I have to say that in a weird ass voice? But anyways, he basically goes Helion, or partial Helion, and basically gets to see Sore pretty pissed off. Like I was terrified. Like when he showed his eyes like all blank with anger, I could feel it. Even though in his voice actor, when his in his voice also, with the voice actor doing a pretty good job. Basically, he's basically was like calm, angry. Like you know, if you anger someone and they're all calm, you're gonna know that something much worse than them breaking out and yelling at you is gonna happen if they're in that condition, which is pretty scary. I was like, oh dang, is he gonna do it? Because basically everyone is saying that he's gonna be taken over by his malevolence, and when he basically everyone thinks that he's going to basically kill him, and like instead of purifying him, he's going to purify and kill him with the same strike. But no, Sorry basically at the last moment basically manages to like fight it off and basically purifies him instead of outright killing him. And everyone's like, "Oh, we have great faith in your self-control." And I think this is also some pretty subtle foreshadowing. Is that maybe in the second core, once he fights Lord of Calamity, we might see Sorry come to the point where he basically goes malevolent mode. Like he has to use the malevolence to fight against Lord of Calamity because he gets so pissed off, like everyone's beaten up or stuff, something like that. I think it's some pretty clever foreshadowing. That is indeed the case, and I also liked it for the fact that we get to see another side of Sorry that we didn't really expect to see from him. That he does indeed get angry, especially when he finds out that you're the one who almost killed Alicia. And I got to say, the Alicia X Sore shipping with the dialogue, even though if it was intentional or not, was pretty there. Was pretty there. I mean, you got the Yaoi fangirls shipping Mikleo and Sore, and now I haven't heard anything from my friends, so I'm going to assume this is the case. Is that the dialogue was pretty on point for like when he makes her when he makes Alicia his squire. Basically, I guess he's giving her the ability to see Saravs and be able to like have purification abilities. Maybe I don't know. It basically just says, "Oh, you be my squire." I'm not sure if I like missed that part or just blanked out and they were explaining what a squire was for a shepherd. But I do know that it does give them the ability to see, Saravs. It's like we'll be together and we'll be together side by side forever. I'm just thinking to myself, that's a lot of shipping material given out to us. Basically, the side with Rose coming and saying, "Hey, you guys having something special going on here? You're looking into his eyes, and you're the only ones. You're the only one, and you're the only one, and he's the only one." Oh my God, I can't see if I messed up the sentence. He's the only one you're saying goodbye to right now in a pretty passionate way, and I was just like, that shipping material is on point. I don't know. I think I prefer if I was going to go a bit about into waifu wars of Tales of Zestria, I would say it's between Rose and Alicia, and I'm leaning more towards the Princess Alicia, and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's just something about the type of character she is. That she's the princess, cool type. I don't know. A lot of my friends tell me that I'm into the more cool anime girls. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's on point for me. But anyways, this was a really good episode. Good finale, I would say. I can't wait for the next season to come out next year. Yeah, 2017, mind you. But we got fall coming up soon next week, and I'm gonna be in a drought for like about a week or for like 5 days apparently, since Macross Delta is going to be released tomorrow, and then after that I'm gonna have nothing else to review technically. Though I will be doing, let's see, some of the animes come out on Sunday, so that would be the second, yeah. So basically I'll have something out by Sunday. On Saturday, I might upload something to fill in that time gap, And once fall season starts going up, you know, I'm going to be watching that, doing it seasonally when I start like the full week and weekend reviews. My here signing out. See you on the next video and slash review. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share this video to your friends or whoever else is interested in hearing other people's opinions and reviews about other anime. And I'll see you on the next video. I am out. Have a nice day wherever you all are at.